Hey everyone, it's SK Nelly. I'm the host of Change Your Love Life Summit, where world's leading love experts will show you how to transform your love life. So today's guest comes all the way from Australia. She's Renee Slansky. Welcome, Renee.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So our guest from Australia, she is like a very special guest with a very, very special biography. Like Renee, I'm going to say first a little bit some things about you so that people can get to know you. So Renee Slansky is an Australian love and relationship coach, TV presenter, writer, and motivational speaker. She's a founder of the Dating Directory, which is one of the top 30 global dating blogs, and Australia's #1 dating and relationship blog. So Renee contributes advice to some of the largest online publications in the world, including the Huffington Post, the Good Man Project, Your Tango, Elite Daily, and more. She's a love advisor for over 30,000 women, but also works with men and couples to help them cultivate strong, healthy relationships. Well, Renee, I think this is very, very, how to say, interesting biography. So you have done a lot of things in your career, and now you became a love coach, a love expert. So before we dive into today's topic, and it's a very hot topic, I would like to hear something about you and about your career. And you were a model as well. So from being a model, a TV host, you decided you are going to go after this career of being a love coach. So just tell us something about your background story.
Yes, so it's usually one of the questions I get asked is, how did I become a dating and relationship coach? And to be honest, it wasn't something that I planned. It was something that kind of just happened. And it all started because I was dating a man who I met on one of my modeling jobs who had a child to a previous relationship. And at that time, which was, about 10 years ago, no one was really talking about what it was like to be in this situation of dating men who have got children. I think online dating apps and online dating, well, that was still kind of a little bit taboo. And so I created a blog, and my blog, The Dating Directory, was basically a platform where I wanted to talk about, what it's like to date nowadays, how to navigate your way. By that age, I'd already made a lot of mistakes, and I was ended up becoming my most toxic relationship, to be honest, but I wasn't aware of it until I got out of it. And I always had a passion for writing, and I was always the sort of person that people would come to for dating and relationship advice. And I guess I just took this passion and I just started it. I started the blog, and then from that led to me starting to write for the Huffington Post and the Good Man Project, doing TV appearances on love, and becoming an authority, I guess, and an expert in my field in Australia, which led my blog to becoming the #1. And that then led me to coaching, because I had a lot of women approach me saying, are you just able to coach me? And it was something that I actually turned down in the beginning, because I was like, no, I don't want to coach. So I don't want to do that. And then I realized, okay, well, maybe this is my way to help people on a deeper level. It was something that I'm so incredibly passionate about, is seeing both men and women, but more in particular women, living in their purpose, fulfilling, who they are as a woman, and understanding how to cultivate a healthy relationship. And the more that I got into this industry, the more I realized just how many women were experiencing the exact same thing that I went through. And it's just one of those things where I wanted to just bring an authentic voice, and I've had a lot of women reach out to me and say, they love how real I am. And I think I had this stigma attached, that because I'd been a model, because I'd, been in that industry, that I never had a problem finding a man, or, I never got rejected, or, I never had any of these issues, which was like completely the opposite. And even to this day, when I start to share some of my stories, like I even shared one this afternoon about climbing a guy's fence, you know, on Instagram. People are like, what? You climbed someone's fence once to check the guy? I'm like, yeah. And, you know, I have all these horror stories, which literally I've taken all my pain and all my bad dating experience and all my lack of knowledge, and I've built a career out of it so that I can help women around the world and educate them. And what my goal is actually to do is to bring love education into schools so that it becomes mandatory, that people know how to love themselves, how to communicate their value, and then set themselves up to be able to build healthy relationships in their life.
Well, that's great, Renee. Like, you're such a great example. You know, people oftentimes think that physical appearance like is everything, and it's not. It's actually not. So I was just about to ask you, you're a very beautiful woman. And what would you say, what is the role of physical appearance when it comes to dating, and how important is it actually? And you can tell this from your own experience and also from being a love expert. So it's going to be interesting to hear this from you.
Yeah, look, I think we all have our own types, and I remember a friend once saying to me, oh, Renee, if you just stop dating good-looking men, then you won't have a problem. Or I used to have other friends say to me, well, it's because you're so good-looking, that's why you're having so many issues in your relationships. And we have this mindset that our appearance is either the yes or the no to whether or not we're worthy of love. And it's a complete lie, because what you look like has nothing to do with the choices that you make in who you choose to date and what you do in that relationship to set the tone of that relationship. I think whilst being good looking to whatever society standards of good looking can give you an advantage as much as a disadvantage at the same time. You know, the advantage would be, you know, if you're highly attractive, then you're probably going to get more attention. But as if you can't tell the difference between negative and positive attention, then you're just going to find yourself in the same position as anyone else who is also not able to tell the difference. The only thing is you're going to have even more of it. So it's going to be harder to shift through who's actually there for the right intentions as opposed to just giving you attention. There's also this stigma attached that if you are beautiful, if you're a model, then you've got no problems. And so it's almost like you have to hide behind what people expect of you because of how you look. And kind of just suck it up, when in reality, you know, you still might struggle from low self-esteem like I used to. You know, you still might chase men, and people just assume that you have no problem, so they treat you differently when really you've got as many battles as anyone else. On the other hand, you know, women who do struggle with their appearance, or maybe women who aren't typically as good looking as what society says, they shouldn't see it as a disadvantage, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we're not there to please everyone. We can't date everyone. We shouldn't want to date everyone. And we ought to know that the person that is falling in love with us isn't just falling in love with us because of how we look. You know, at the end of the day, whoever you choose to invest into it as a relationship, they're always going to get to a point where it doesn't just become about the physical attraction. You know, whilst men are obviously visual creatures, and it's one of the things that they obviously will ask a girl out or not because they're attracted to or not, it's not the solid foundation on which you build a relationship from. And I think women, statistically proven, women who maybe aren't as supermodel, Victoria's Secret model or whatever, tend to have longer relationships and find it easier in dating because they attract the sort of men who aren't just there for the shallow sort of reasons. You know, they're attracting men who actually want a solid relationship, and they have, you know, other qualities about them that they're focusing on and relying on, especially in social media where there's such a major focus on how you look and what your boob size is, and if you've got hair extensions and eyelash extensions and all these sort of things. And women are assuming that their worth is based on how they look, because how they look equals how much attention they get on social media. Yeah. And they assume that if I show more skin, then I'll get more attention, therefore I'm worth more to a man. And then they're wondering why these men are coming in, but they're just leaving as quickly as they're coming in, you know, because they're basing, you know, their decisions and who they choose off how much response they get from how they look.